On this week's episode of the Bulletin board, the number 11 driver from C2C, it's Jesse Newsome. How are you feeling heading into the new week? And more importantly, how's everything over at Coast to Coast? How's that camp going?
Oh yeah, we're doing as good as we can be, I guess. So far into the season, everybody at Coast to Coast doing good too. We've been focusing more on picking up newer guys and just overall helping everybody out and trying to get everybody a little bit better than they already are. And like I said, we've been bringing on a lot of new people and getting them really good. We've, especially in the league and stuff, we've picked up maybe 4 or 5 guys that I've been helping. Mason Cassidy, he's been on Coast to Coast for a while, Willie Cuddy, Holden Allen, he was leading most of the race not leading most of the race, but he was up front most of the time at Lincoln. And Kyler Bronson, he led the whole race at Volusia. So, we've been putting in a lot of time and definitely improving everybody.
Well, that is good to hear. You are the championship leader. You've got 2 wins on the season. Unfortunately, you had a little bit of a downfall last week. You had P15 at Lincoln Speedway. Not what you want to see. Let's go back and have a look again. Wow. Now, being that Mason Cassidy went back-to-back there, it is a Coast-to-Coast teammate. How does Coast-to-Coast feel about the week overall? And more importantly, how do you feel?
I was definitely bummed. I felt like, obviously Mason had a good piece. He came out with the win and pretty much dominated the whole race. And I don't know if the reason got out yet, but we were, I got up to second pretty quick there, and I don't know what is up with my wheel. I have a Fanatec and I've had it for about 5 years, and now it's like if my leg bumps the cable, it just randomly disconnects. So it just disconnected and shot me into the wall, and pretty much ended my run. And like I said, with Holden, I've been building setups and helping him. Same thing with Mason and Willie, and Coast to Coast feels good about it. It's nice to find a new league, and especially be running up front most of these weeks, and knowing that we have a really good shot at winning the championship no matter where we go. Whether it's, we got pretty close in Pro Series. I think 1 or 2 of us were in the top 5 there for a little bit, and now in this series we've got most of us in the top 10. So definitely feeling good about last week, even though most of us wrecked, but we're looking forward to tomorrow actually at Port Royal. So we're looking forward to it, and we'll see what we can do.
Yeah, and now to kind of piggyback off what I said earlier, Mason Cassidy did indeed go back-to-back. Has that created a little bit of tension or controversy in the camp? And if not, then the question has to arise, who's the primary driver when it comes to the Crown Jewel Tour? Is it still Jesse Newsome, the 2-time winner, the early season dominant factor? Or is Mason Cassidy getting a little bit of nods towards that primary driver spot?
Oh yeah, we like to keep it even between us. You know what I mean? Me and Mason are sort of like the head guys, I guess, that sort of help everybody out. I guess I could be a crew chief and a driver if you wanted to call me that. You know what I mean? I've been building setups and sort of helping Mason out. It's like I said, my setup has won all 4 weeks. So I won the first 2. Mason won the second 2, or the last 2 races. So is, like I said, Kyler Bronson and Willie Cuddy. I've pretty much been crew chiefing on all their cars too. So it's really, I wouldn't say there's a more primary driver over one of us. I feel like me and Mason are the main 2 guys. It's not really a competition between us for who's better or who gets what. You know what I mean? It's more of like a team thing. Me and Mason are just really good together, and we try and help out as many people as we can. Anybody that wants help or just straight up doesn't know what to do and they just need to get started. You know what I mean? We'll see you're struggling and we'll message you, or they'll message us, and they improve pretty quick. So to answer your question, I don't think there's really a battle between me and Mason at all. We just team up really good and like to help people. So
Well, I mean, that's great. That is great to hear, obviously, because there is a little bit of I guess track record would be the best way to put it. There is a little bit of a track record when it comes to these dirt organizations that do end up climbing the mountaintop. They do get into that top echelon. A lot of times it is beef from within. It's that inner mutiny that really blows up an entire team or organization, company, sim sport, whatever you want to call it. There's multiple, across every single discipline on the iRacing official service, there's multiple examples of that. So, with
Yeah.
that being said, heading into not exactly the last half of the season, but we're getting close. Do you feel the bond with Coast to Coast is growing? Do you think that we are just in the infant stage of Coast to Coast and its growth and, maybe the quote unquote takeover that some people are calling it?
Oh yeah, I definitely feel like we're one of the more improving teams, besides Majula C and CFM, their house team over there. I feel like we're one of the better teams besides them, you know what I mean? If not the second best team. Obviously, they have a lot of good guys over there that are really powerful and fast. No matter how long they take away from the game, they can get on 6 months after not playing and get on and kick our butt. So I feel like we're definitely growing a lot and improving as a team. That we're definitely climbing up there. I feel like Pro Series helped us out a lot. We sort of it let us like get grouped together a lot, you know what I mean? Like not as much as we would just running officials and stuff. Like we sort of all came together as a team and we're helping each other out. And yeah, and I mean you saw how that turned out. We actually I guess you could say that was our rookie year and we actually did pretty good compared to, the big teams like obviously CFM and a little bit of EPI and Tanner Pettit Racing. Like we put up a good fight with those guys, and I'm definitely really proud of what we've been able to build over the last couple years, and I feel like we're definitely getting up there. So.
Well, yeah, I agree wholeheartedly. You guys are fast. You guys are dangerous. That has a bad connotation in the racing world, but you know what I mean. You guys are every single opportunity you take it, every single position. If it's there, you're going to take it. There's a reason Coast to Coast guys are towards the top of the grid. Well, that's going to be all for Bulletin Board episode 2. I appreciate you coming out, Jesse. And before you go, the floor is yours, man. Whoever you want to shout out, whatever you want to get off your chest. I mean, this is your time. Anything.
I want to thank obviously everybody at Coast to Coast. They help out a lot. I've said it 100 times. We try and help as many people as we can. If you ever, anybody that's watching ever needs any help, just hit me or Mason up, or even Justin Byerman. He'll get us in contact, and we can help you out as much as we can, or as much as you'd like to be helped out. And everybody at Majula C, Blake and Evan and Chris Ferguson with CFM, and yeah, just everybody at Coast to Coast and everything that has to do with Majula C and CFM. They help us out a lot, providing setups and putting in a lot of time.